How y'all doing, man? Once again, thank you for tuning in to a spoon-fed podcast where we give you a dose of reality on different topics around the world, especially topics that involve you personally, even myself. The whole point of this channel is to inform people on certain aspects in life that we could all learn from and to do better at. Because a wise man once said, to learn from somebody else's mistakes instead of your own is a genius move. So that's why I'm here. I want y'all to learn from some of my mistakes or certain things that I actually learned, and certain things you probably learn and can agree with, but it can add on to what you already know. So by saying that, thank you for joining the channel. You already know who I am, but if you're new to this channel, Spoon is the name, Spoon the World for known, and ST Dub for short. You can check me out on Instagram. That'll be in the description box. And also our sponsors, Splash Clothing NYC. That'll be in the description box as well. If you like what we doing here, that's our sponsors. But even if you don't like what we doing, if you a hater, tap in anyway, because I guarantee you we got some threads that you gonna like. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button, like or dislike, depending on what it is. And please make a comment. And also, if you a fan or if you a follower, please press the bell. You already know the subscription bell, so when we drop a video, everything will be out there and you'll get alerted. So let's get ready. Today's topic number 2 today. Why letting go of pain, trauma, and giving forgiveness is healthier for you. This is huge, man, because on my daily routes, even myself, like certain times when I was younger, I used to get pissed at certain people for doing nonsense, whether it was directly or indirectly to me. And I'd be like, yo, what is wrong with these people? You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, what? Like, sometimes you can't help but take it personal. But overall, what I realized in life, don't take a lot of things personal. I know it's hard for people to grasp because it's like, oh, but they did it to me on a personal level. I understand that. But you have to remember this. When people do something to you, right? That thing that they did to you is only a reflection of what they feel about themselves. I'm talking about the individual that probably hurt you, wronged you. I don't care if it's family, friends, loved ones, it don't matter. Anybody that hurt you in a wrong way, they did it because how they feel towards themselves. Even subconsciously, the person might not even know that they hurt you because this is the type of people they are. This is their character. They don't really have regard for other people's life. And I know it's hard to fathom that because people could look at that and go, well, this person thought through this. Yes, because that's all they knew. This person planned this. Yeah, that's all they knew. Because there was in a frequency of bad feelings or emotions, and they just took it out on you. I know it's hard to accept it, but the reason why you have to let go of pain and trauma, no matter what the person did, I know it's hard to say that, is because when you hold that baggage deep down, ask yourself, what is it doing for you? Besides hindering you, hurting you, dragging you down, or making you feel less of a person, or just getting you angry when you think about it, what is that pain and trauma doing for you? Sometimes pain and trauma could fuel you. You know, it could be your drive, your fuel. But that's only if you have a healthy understanding of what you're trying to accomplish. Like, what I mean by that, don't carry a grudge and say, I'm going to get back at this person, because at the end of the day, that person owns a piece of you because you're thinking of them trying to move forward. That's not healthy. And when you forgive somebody, this is the biggest one of them all. When I'm not saying forget, biggest misconception. People's like, oh, if I forgive the person, that means I got to forget what they did. No. Forgiveness is for you to let the load off your back, because whatever that person made you feel by thinking about that situation, that baggage is still is weighing down on your soul and weighing down on your heart, whether you like it or not. Like, I'll give you an example. But say somebody stole from you, and it was something that you really liked, or something that was dear to you, and then you found out and the person apologized. You're going to be vexed. You probably want to hurt the person. But the thing at the end of the day, what is that going to solve? I'm not saying don't give them punishment. I'm not here for that. I'm not telling you how to deal with the punishment, but I'm just saying after you realize what happened and you dealt with it, I'm trying to help you avoid it. But when you see what happened, you like, take a deep breath and be like, yo, okay, I forgive this person, but I'm not gonna forget, because if you forget what the person did, they're liable to do the same thing all over again. So the main thing, forgiveness is for you, because by forgiving that person that did you wrong, you're taking that anger and frustration and that lock and that hold that they have on you away from them and more to yourself. Meaning that you're understanding the situation, you're dealing with the situation, and you're moving forward. Showing progress, you see? So the main thing, and the reason why it's healthier for you, let me get to that. Forgiveness and letting go of pain and trauma is healthier because by you carrying that trauma or pain, anytime you think about it or if you deal with it, it's gonna raise your blood pressure. It's gonna cause your heart to speed up. It's gonna cause possible headaches, migraines, chest pains, body aches. How many times that you got up in the middle of the night because you had a stressful night before, or a stressful day at work, or a stressful situation with your spouse or your friends or your family or whatever it is. How many times you woke up in the middle of the night or the next day you felt drained, like you couldn't get up? You know what that is? Stress. And we all going to get stressed, but it's how you deal with it. And we deal with it, especially in 2022. We all have a lot of stress, more than they possibly did in the past. But the thing is, no matter what, you have to learn how to get through it. And especially with this podcast, this episode is showing you how to get through certain stressors, pretty much stressors and pain and trauma, leaving them where they at. And I don't know if you religious or spiritual, whatever, just leave it where it's at. If you spiritual, you could just leave it with nature. Because, the higher powers is pretty much the same. Or if you're religious, you already know what I mean. Higher power is pretty much the same as nature. But even if you're not religious or spiritual, scientifically, you could leave it with nature as well. I know science people believe in that too, because just leave it with nature means forget about it, leave it alone. I know it's easier said than done. But when I say leave it, that means forgive, but don't forget. You take a mental note like, oh, this person did this. All right, I'll put them over there. But forgiveness is for you to keep moving forward so you won't have to think back in the past of what foolishness that other person did to mess you up or mess themselves up in the process. And then you realize, oh, this person's not for me. So it is what it is. But by not healing properly from pain or trauma, or letting go, I should say, that's only going to cause you misery, self-doubt, and it will also help with you to develop a victim mindset. Because you'd be like, oh, why this person did this to me? People always doing this to me. Like, you have to learn how to let it go. Because remember, whatever you put out in the world, you're like an antenna. It's going to come back. So when you dwell on negativity, you're putting out energy. And this is one of the reasons why I'm saying let go. When you let go of that negativity, whatever who did wrong to you, it could be a friend, family, whatever, loved one, just see it for what it is. You learn from it as long as it's not directly affecting you. But sometimes when it's directly affecting you, if it's not hindering you in a certain way, ignore it. Because most of the time people do things just to push your buttons and to see your reaction. And this is why I tell people all the time, before you react, because I'm guilty of this too. When I was younger, I just react. Ready to put a foot on somebody's neck. But you can't always be like that, because sometimes life is like a chess game. It's not checkers. Somebody's setting you up to get a reaction so they could move you into a spot where you can't get out. Checkmate. So the whole thing is letting go of the pain and the trauma, no matter what it is healthy. You have to forgive. That's even healthier, because all this is going back to you to make sure you don't have a heavy heart, because a heavy heart bears a heavy soul and a heavy mind. And you know what that brings? Baggage. So you got to learn how to let it go, or the baggage will let you go under. Hope y'all learned from this quick video. Much love to y'all. Stay dangerous. See who's positive around you, see who's negative around you, and move accordingly. Much love, always.